Call the order of the City Council meeting for City of East Grand Forks for Tuesday, March 7th, 2017 is now 5 o'clock. Executive Assistant, please call roll.
Mayor Steve Gander.
Here.
Mayor for the day, Bryn Havis. Council President Mark Olsted.
Here.
Council Vice President Chad Grassel.
Here.
Council Members Clarence Vetter.
Here.
Mike Pakshavinsky.
Here.
Tim Riopel.
Here.
Henry Tweeten.
Here.
Mark Demers.
Present.
Does term quorum, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. As you heard during our roll call, we do have a mayor of the day, Bryn Havis, is that how you say it? Yep. Mr. Gander, Mayor Gander, if you'd like to say a few words regarding her spending time with you.
Yes. Bryn arrived here today at about 4 o'clock and received reports from some of our department heads. And she had a nice visit with Megan. And she was briefed as to some of the agenda items for today's council meeting. And now she will preside as mayor for our meeting and will give the report at the end of the meeting. Now it sounds like while Mayor Staus was still here, she did an essay and turned it in and won a contest with this essay. And for that was given the opportunity then to be mayor for the day. Mayor Staus had hoped to do this before he left office, but schedule-wise it just did not work out. And so we're pleased to have Megan here as mayor for the day. Megan.
Bryn.
Bryn. I got Megan stuff, so it's Bryn. Bryn Havis.
Thank you, Mayor Gander. Open forum and opportunity for members of the public to address the City Council on items not on the current agenda. Items requiring council action may be deferred to staff or boards and commissions for research and future council agendas if appropriate. If you'd like to address the City Council, please come up to the podium to do so now. Seeing none, I'll move on to approval of minutes for the February 21st regular meeting minutes, February 21st special meeting minutes, and February 28th work session minutes.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Grassel. Any questions or discussion? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion's carried. Scheduled bid lettings. Number 4, consider adopting resolution number 17-03-15, approving the plans and specifications and ordering advertisement for bids for the 2017 assessment job number 1, street and bike path improvements.
Move.
Moved by Tweeden.
Second.
Second by Riopel. Is there any discussion or questions? See none, roll call, please.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Scheduled public hearings are none. Consent agenda. Items under the consent agenda will be adopted with one motion. However, council members may request individual items to be pulled from the consent agenda for discussion and action if they choose. Does any council member like getting the items pulled? Seeing none, entertain a motion to approve 5 through 8.
I move 5 through 8. Second.
Moved by Grassel, second by Demers. Any questions or discussions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Vetter.
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riopel.
Yes.
Tweeten.
Yes.
Olsted.
Yes.
Grassel.
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Acknowledge receipt of reports of officers, boards, and commissions. Regular meeting minutes of Water and Light and Power and Building Commission, February 2nd, 2017, and February 16th, 2017. Communication, acknowledge the retirement of Dan Boyce effective March 1st, 2017, and thank him for 26 years of service. Keith, would you like to say something at all, or?
The only thing I'd say is very much appreciative of Dan's help. Total professional and was much appreciated. I forgot to give Dan a call. I was going to do that. I spoke to him yesterday at noon. He stopped by. For the agenda, he probably would have went online. So I thought maybe we'd see him, but maybe the weather is bad and decided to stay home.
Thank you, Keith. Anybody else have any comments? See none. Thank you, sir. Old business, there's none. New business, 11, consider approving the Greenway Access Master Plan for the Red and Red Lake Rivers.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Vetter. Is there any discussion or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Tweeten,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion's carried. Number 12, consider approving the request to start the hiring process for the public service librarian position.
Move.
Moved by Demers.
Second.
Second by Grassel. Any questions or discussion? Mr. Vetter.
Thank you, Mr. President. I didn't vote for this position in the budget, so I won't be voting to approve it now. This is one of those things where we have to evaluate what level of service we want to provide. We can't provide all services to everyone, and once this position is in the is hired, it's going to be very difficult to get rid of it, so I'm not voting for it.
Thank you, sir.
I'd like to make a comment, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Tweeden.
We wouldn't be asking for money if it wasn't essential. We've got one of the finest libraries in the country. If we're going to have students be where they should be 5, 10, 20 years from now, a library is very essential. And the library also has many other functions, such as art and computer and so forth, and I strongly urge we approve it.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Vetter,
No.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Tweeten,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 13, consider approving the request for private use of the public sidewalk for the boardwalk for May 2017 and October 2017.
Move.
Moved by Pachivinsky. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second by Mr. Grassel. Any questions or discussion? Mr. Gulstead.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At the work session, I was asked to look into this. I've looked into it through our statute, or our code, as well as state statutes. There are two portions of our city code that would deal with this. One where it says that there isn't any alcohol service in private parking or in public parking lots or public areas. And then there is the specific ordinance that deals with private use of public streets, public parking lots, and public sidewalks. As Megan pointed out at the work session, this has been allowed on 2 separate occasions with a private use permit that was issued to both Mama Maria's and Little Bangkok. There is a provision in the statute, or in the ordinance, 96.13, that would allow this. It would be incidental to the service of food at the establishment. And there is a specific process if there are issues that are raised or a person in the public believes that it's inappropriate. They would then make a complaint. It could come from us if there's, any problems that are taking place by having it. There's a hearing that this body would then allow testimony and presenting evidence by any complainant and the establishment. So they would have to. They're held accountable. So at this point in time, I believe that if it's the will of this body, this permit can in fact be issued.
Thank you, sir. Does anybody have any questions for Mr. Gulstead regarding that? If not, is there any other questions? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Tweeten,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Claims, consider authorizing the city administrator, clerk, treasurer to issue payments of recommended bills and payroll.
Move.
Moved by Riepel.
Second.
Second by Grassel. Roll call, please.
Vetter,
Yes.
Pakshavinsky.
Yes.
Riepel,
Yes.
Tweeten,
Yes.
Olsted,
Yes.
Grassel,
Yes.
Demers.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Number 15, consider authorizing the payment of DNR grant of $50,000 to Water and Light to help pay for the construction of the pool project.
Move.
Moved by Grasso,
Second.
second by Tweeden. Is there any discussion? Mr. Vedder?
I was under the impression that we were just supposed to pay interest until the sales tax was finalized. Am I wrong in that assumption?
You're not wrong with that assumption, but this $50,000 DNR grant was not received or applied for to pay interest on the project. It was applied for and granted to go toward the construction of the project. But the contract with DNR, it states in there that this is to be matched by the city of East Grand Forks with the $50,000 going to the construction, not to any financing or anything else.
Okay, and so has the city not paid for all the construction costs?
This is being paid to Water and Light from the loan that was taken out by the city.
I understand that, but we're not required to pay it to them. We were required to pay
No, we're
for the
required to
pool.
pay it to them because it's for construction costs, and we borrowed the money for the construction costs. So in fact, we are playing it down toward the construction costs of the project.
But we're not required to.
Yes, we are. We're not going to use the $50,000 for any likes of anybody in the council or the city to do whatever they want with it. It goes to the construction of the project of the pool.
Correct.
And was not given to us for any financing costs or anything else.
I understand that, but you got two pots. You got the pool that we're paying for out of DNR grant, donations from the Save the Pool Foundation, and a loan from Water and Light. And we've covered all those costs.
The full dollar amount.
Now we got to pay the loan back to Water and Light under terms that we agreed with to Water and Light. There is nothing in that that says if we get extra funds along the way, we have to pay more towards principal. And my understanding is that until the sales tax is done, all we have to pay to Water and Light is the interest that we owe them.
So what are you going to do with the $50,000?
It went to pay for the pool.
No, it was paid.
Back
we went
in 2016 or
let me
15,
clarify
when we
it.
covered expenses, and it came out of the general fund,
The current project was not approved until after 2013.
correct?
Okay? The money was borrowed from Water and Light. Started at $1,841,515. We came back with the SOP and went back to Water and Light and asked them to borrow to the total project cost under the known fact that we would be receiving that $50,000 from DNR plus whatever the SOP raised, and that'll be applied to that loan from Water and Light.
And that document is where?
Document is what we agreed on with the resolution that's in front of you.
Right, and that
Plus,
resolution
the
doesn't say-
contract that is signed by the city and DNR is for the construction. So that money that we borrowed, the total dollar amount to borrow for the construction from Water and Light needs to be paid down with the $50,000 we got from DNR, plus whatever the SOP raised.
I'm disagreeing.
That's fine.
The DNR grant.
But I'm not gonna have $50,000 sitting in an account for someone to spend.
It's
That's
not.
supposed to go toward the pool.
It went towards the pool.
But do you want it, what are you gonna do for it? Are you gonna sit there and have the $50,000 sit in an account so you can take interest off that $50,000 and pay toward Water and Light?
When the
Or
pool,
or when the sales tax gets done, are you gonna take that $50,000 and apply it toward the Water and Light then?
when the pool was being built, we paid our bills as we went along, whether we used Water and Light money, whether we used general fund money. Those bills were paid.
The money that was paid to construct a pool came from the money that was borrowed from Water and Light. The other money that you're looking at that shows on the 2012 that was asked to be paid for last week at the Water and Light Department had nothing to do with the current project that we voted on and approved with this resolution.
I'd like to make.
We're talking about the 50,000.
I'd like to make a comment.
Henry, just hang on a second, please. So the $50,000 was awarded to us to pay for the construction. We borrowed that money, totally understanding that we're gonna get that $50,000, and that was supposed to go toward that, plus the SOP money that was raised.
That might have been your understanding, wasn't my understanding.
Mr. President, I can probably clarify it. The DNR works with the Water and Light Department, which is a part of the city. It's an instrumentality type of deal. We work with the DNR on many topics. We are getting our water because of the DNR has a contract with the Chippewa Indians on Red Lake River. So we're not going to turn down $50,000.
Oh, I agree with you.
Yeah, so the long and short of it is the Water and Light trying to help the city. If we wouldn't have helped the city, we probably wouldn't have a pool. And I know the history of the pool going back to the 30s.
From where I'm standing, it's two separate things. We've paid for the pool with either Water and Light money, DNR money, Save the Pool money. We've now got this loan agreement with Water and Light that requires us to pay it over 20 years at a 1% interest rate. And my understanding is the current agreement has waived the principal payments until the sales tax issue is resolved. With that in mind, we only have to pay the interest until that is resolved. Nothing over and above that. So I will vote no on
I'd like to
this.
make one more comment, Mr. Chairman, President.
Henry.
We should thank God that the Water and Light, and we've had a lot of good commissioners going back to 1905. They're doing all that they can to make us a better city. This is just a procedure, and it's very, very nice to have the Water and Light there because of the fact of our operation. It has reduced our improvement bonds and saved the future generations a substantial amount of money.
Well, I'm agreeing with most of what you're saying, Mr. Tweeten.
And hopefully the legislature will get together and approve the budget, and we can start going a different route, the sales tax route, and free up the money.
Any other comments or questions? See none, roll call, please.
Better?
No.
Pakshavinsky?
Yes.
Riepel?
Yes.
Tweeten?
Yes.
Olsted?
Yes.
Grassel?
Yes.
Demers?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Mayor Gander, are you going to have anything to say at all, sir, before we move on to?
I think maybe Mayor Havis will go first, and then I'll have one quick blurb after.
Sounds good.
Go ahead, Mayor. Yes.
If I were mayor for a day, some of the things that I would work on are some of the same things that the community is already discussing. First of all, I live right by the Greenway, and I think that many people use it, and it is a great asset to Grand Forks and East Grand Forks. Many events on the Greenway could help others benefit as well. My next point would be wildlife, more so deer. Deer come into my yard, but it doesn't faze me because I live right next to the riverbank and woods, and that is their home. Some people have issues with the deer coming through their yard and possibly causing damage, but it shouldn't have to be the deer's fault. The deer are part of the nature of where we live. And finally, I think a bridge should be built south of town to solve the traffic on Bigland. A roundabout to me seems like a problem because it would slow traffic instead of move the traffic in the morning. I know I'm not a driver yet, but I will soon be one, and I've been paying a lot of attention now. With the costs saved by eliminating a roundabout, we should repair and finish some of the roads we already have. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Mayor Havis.
I don't know if you need to say anything more, Mr. Gander.
I'm good.
I know.
She covered all my hot button issues. Just a couple things real quick. We have nailed down the State of the City address for the 18th of April, 11:30 a.m. at the Eagles. And for all department heads who are able to attend, we're going to have a kickoff planning meeting to see what I could get from you folks about your departments and how the city works at 11 o'clock this Thursday. So whomever can make that would be greatly appreciated. That's all I got.
Mr. Vetter.
Thank you. Mayor picked his State of the City address for tax day, just incidentally. Just wanted to reach out and wish the men's hockey team good luck this week, and hope they bring home another state championship. Thank you.
Mr. Pachivinsky.
Just like to state that I agree with the acting mayor on her policy towards white-tailed deer, and I encourage her to have an open mind about the need for a roundabout.
Mr. Riopel.
For those who missed, the senior center had their Taste of England last night. It was very good. Mayor Gander, Mr. Olsted and I were all there. And they had their pancake feed on Sunday, and it was probably the most they've ever had at it.
Mr. Tweeden.
I was also at the senior pancake food food deal, and they had a good crowd. You were there, important people like you, and it's an excellent program that has been there for a number of years in memory of some people. And every time we get citizens supporting parts of the structure of our government, we've enhanced the quality of life in our community.
Mr. Demers.
Thank you, Mr. President. I guess just like to extend the thanks to Mr. Boyce for all his, or for his tenure. He was both steady and progressive in what he did. I'm sure he'll be missed by his staff and the city as a whole. And then just kind of, I guess, a rhetorical question is, which ward is the mayor for the day from? Do you know?
Which ward do you live in? What part of town? So what is your address, roughly?
Laurel Drive.
Oh,
There you go.
Ward 2.
Ward 2. I just asked so we know which council members should be a little concerned.
We'll redistrict before.
Thank you.
Mr. Grassel.
I agree with the comments on Mr. Boyce. I'm going to miss his quick little wit every once in a while. I have to disagree with Mayor Havis on the white-tailed deer. But I'll agree to disagree there. But that's all right. And also good luck to the boys hockey team again. It's always nice for the Green Wave to get their name all over the state. So good luck to them.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, I'd like to say that yesterday at Senior Center was a good meal. I think next month is going to be maybe a hint at Ireland. So we'll see if that actually pans out. Maybe Mr. Murphy will show up then.
I'll be there.
Also, good luck to the boys hockey team. I know that the band's going down tomorrow too. So they'll have, I think, 60-member band that's with them. So they'll be able to see the band and the players. Also, to Dan Boyce, thank him for the service he's had. I know I've talked to him a lot and bounced some ideas off of him, so it's been good to talk to him. Look forward to talking with Keith on some things, and so appreciate it. Other than that, I don't have anything.
I just have one item. Wednesday of last week, I had the opportunity to testify before the tax committee down in St. Paul regarding the Border Cities tax credit. They are looking at putting some additional funds into that and also making that a recurring funding source rather than having to go back every session for the funding on that. It did seem to have some very strong support in the tax committee, so hopefully that will translate into support on the legislature as a whole. That's all I have.
Mr. Billstead.
Again, I'm going to echo, I want to thank Dan Boyce. He was a pleasure to work with as a consultant and legal consultant, and I'm looking forward to working with Keith here in the future. Keith has got some big shoes to fill, but from my standpoint, he's right for the position. He's doing a great job starting out. So, and then the other thing that I wanted to mention is I got a call yesterday, and I know that the Kennedy Bridge project is already online and in progress, but I got a couple of calls from area farmers truly concerned regarding the pedestrian portion of that bridge being put on the inside as opposed to the outside, indicating that the size of the equipment that they're going to have to be bringing across that bridge will fit across that bridge, but it's going to fit into oncoming traffic. And because they have to haul the largest piece of equipment, it's like 27 feet. And they're afraid of the public safety issue that was ignored by the DOT and the engineers regarding safety issues. They're putting safety of the pedestrians on the inside of the bridge over safety of the motorists on the outside of the bridge. And I was so I was asked to relay that information to you and to see if there's any way that they could be revisited. And it's not outside the realm of possibility that they might do something legally themselves. Just to let you know.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Emery.
I'd just like to thank Dan Boyce for his 26 years of service too. Thoroughly enjoyed working with Dan. Just a vast knowledge that Dan had, and like Mr. Gulstead said, you got big shoes to fill, so good luck.
Anything from the department heads tonight? Seeing none, entertain a motion to adjourn. Moved by Grassel.
Second.
Second by Demers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carried. Meeting is now adjourned. What now? Do we? Go on.
I'm just telling you for future reference. I'm just saying.
Hold on, let me get out of the way.
Get out of the way.
Should have one of just her first. No, I can turn the monitor off.
Oh, I thought you were turning the
Listen, who got the 50? You?
There we go. Now I can get it.
Oh, helps. You know.
Sorry. Very good to have you here. Thank you. Did you have any questions of our mayor for today? Yeah.
We'll have a couple things we need to talk about with the mayor's speech.
Why would we call it our central middle school out on the edge?
Was it?
Yeah.
It's whatever works.
Oh, so it was that long ago.
Actually,